During classical calorie restriction, 40 to 55% of weight lost is actually derived from lean body mass. And this is because during classical calorie restriction, the body is adapted to being a carb burner. Therefore, it has to derive this remaining energy from glucose. So the body has two options. Number one, the body can pull this energy from glycogen reserves to supply the need for glucose. But as I discussed earlier, this glycogen reserve is very small. At max capacity, we're looking at approximately 2,000 calories worth of glycogen. So let's say that I had a deficit of 2,000 kcals and I derived all of that energy from my carb stores. I'm going to empty that tank out completely, which is something the body really doesn't want to do. So the body asks itself the question, can I find this glucose from elsewhere? What the body can do is it can convert amino acids into glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. If we break this word down, genesis, to create, neo, new, gluco, glucose. I create new glucose. So what the body can do is it can break down the amino acids that are present in lean tissue and convert them into the proportion of glucose required to fuel the glucose-adapted brain, heart, and muscle. Hence, why we lose lean tissue. And this makes sense from an evolutionary point of view, as the body looks at it as, if I can't control what this number is, my food intake, I can control what this number is, my calorie expenditure. And what we need to remember is that carrying around lean muscle is expensive for the body. That's because it's heavy. So what that means is that the greater the muscle mass that I have, the greater the amount of energy that I end up requiring to carry it around. Hence, why when people increase their muscle mass, their energy expenditure increases. It's the same with a car. If I place 3 people in the back and 4 suitcases in the boot of my car, it's going to use more fuel quicker than if I was driving solo with less mass in the car. The body's the same. And it looks at it as, the more calories that I expend, the closer I am to death. Because I bring it back to that evolutionary perspective, where the body doesn't actually know if it's ever going to eat another meal again. So the body says, if I continue to expend more and more energy, I'm eventually going to run out of fuel, shut down, and die. So, by getting rid of this excess lean tissue, energy expenditure decreases, and the body sees this as a survival mechanism to stay alive, as well as preserving a portion of my glycogen stores.